That's Big John with the pickaxe, standing on the lawn of Helper City Hall, staring up at a stone sentinel called Balance Rock. The rock looks precarious, but it endures, much like the town it guards. Helper once rivaled Price as the hub of Carbon County, but the rail yards lost some steam, and the mining boom quieted. Still, quiet has its own allure, and Helper found a siren song.
That's a 1947 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead.
Why is it called a knucklehead?
These parts on the engine head look like human knuckles.
Bobby DeVincent works for his brother Gary at the Vintage Motor Company, a restored 1906 building on Main Street that's part workshop, part museum, and all machines. Gary and Bobby inherited the love of these American motorbikes from their father.
Now, if you remember the date in school, December 7th, 1941.
Of course, Pearl Harbor.
That's exactly right. This picture was taken in Hawaii. That's my dad. Look how young he is.
Stationed in Hawaii as an MP, he survived Pearl Harbor from the saddle of a Harley. He never really got off one.
Oh, yeah. He would ride to work on his Harley all the time. That's how much he loved riding those. And so my brother Gary grew up, and we always looked for these old bikes. And we used to restore them in American Fork.
The brothers found a new home when American Fork widened their road, an unlikely trigger for a move that transformed much of Helper. Their HQ is the Lincoln. It's an old silent theater with crude Depression-era rules still posted where they found them.
The train station's 2 blocks down the road. So this sign is basically saying the poor hobos and vagrants looking for food, yeah, you guys, I'll give you 2 meals and I'll let you rest for 10 hours. But the bottom says, you better get back on the train after that.
Gary bought a bunch of crumbling storefronts on Main Street.
Now, this was kind of a mafia hang-up. My brother sold this to a guy, I don't know what he's doing with it.
And scattered around town, their retro gas stations show off collectible treasures. They've become signature sites in Helper. Gary restores them and leases some of them out. He builds and populates landmarks as a business model.
That's the car that was in here back in the day. So they go, oh, you guys are the ones fixing that old Conoco station. He goes, I got a car that came out of there when I got out of Vietnam. That car was sitting in the bay. If you guys are going to put it back in there, I'll sell it to you.
Just down the street, a different kind of restoration. Beg, borrow, and steal. It showcases the work of Ben Steele.
They take it to an automotive store, have it done that cherry red.
Paintings, prints, and collaborations with his wife, Melanie.
And then she hand cuts each one of those letters.
Who came to art through writing and never quite left either.
It truly is fun. Like this is it feels like a privilege to get to make art and do that for a job.
They came in 2003, drawn by a pitch from Ben's mentor at the University of Utah.
He goes, you moved to New York, it's great you're in this art, so theoretically this big art world, but pretty soon you're working 3 jobs to pay for your apartment and you're not creating art anymore.
Most of the artists aren't from here. We've just all developed as family and friends.
From this studio, Ben's work hangs in major galleries around the country. Their store is part gallery, part gift shop, all personality. Mormon Rockwell on t-shirts, The Matrix reimagined with art history's greatest names, and a crayon box called Made in Helper with 27 colors, one for each language reportedly spoken here when immigrants came seeking work.
If you're up for being, with the misfit part of town, that, I think that's why this land's so good as an artist community, because it's always been this immigrant transitional community. It's just how it was set up originally, and that spirit's never changed.
A town built on industry, still rough around the edges, still carrying the misfit spirit that drew immigrants, artists, and tinkerers alike. It just keeps finding new company. If you were wondering why they call it Helper, it's because this is where they would attach a Helper engine onto those big coal trains so they could make it up the steep grade of Price Canyon.